So burial, let's see. So burial, let's see. So burial, let's see. Call chat rats. I could call you Rat Pack, honestly. But I feel like maybe that would infringe on some copyright. I feel like that would infringe on some copyright, you know? Anyways, burial, let's see episode 1, right? I do want to restart it because it was just such a mess last time. It really, really was. And I kind of just want to, you know, I'll redo things a lot faster, but, you know, I just kind of want to have another go at it without having to, you know, deal with all of that misery again. Don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Medium, yes, let's go. Fellas, chat, what difficulty do you usually play? Because I used to be one of those kinds of people that... you know, there's like that kind of person, yeah? That thinks if I'm playing a game, then I ought to play it on like the hardest difficulty. Or it's like meaningless. Or it's like, you know, I need to test myself, right? And I kind of used to be like that before, yeah? I kind of used to be like that before. But then I realized it was making me not enjoy the game. I was so focused on like clearing the game on this difficulty that I wasn't even enjoying the game itself, you know?
We're close.
So now I just play on like medium. Because it's usually like a decent enough difficulty for me to like test myself, but not as hard as to just be like balls to the wall insane. So I don't get like frustrated or anything.
How about we start with a light?
I was a gamer. I was a gamer. I cleared a number of games. Honestly, I think the game that broke me was SMT Nocturne, because if you try to play that game on hard, it will just kick you in the balls. And the thing is, a lot of games, when it comes to their difficulty as well, the way that they do it is that they just tune up things like damage and health, right? Enemies turn into bullet sponges, you deal less damage, yada yada yada. Not really anything else, not anything interesting, to be honest, right?
Got a name, miss?
Like, let me give you another example. Devil May Cry 3, right? That's always my go-to example, the Devil May Cry series. When you turn up your difficulty, the enemies get stronger for sure, but also they alter their tactics. They become more aggressive, they add more attacks to their repertoire, they become more difficult to deal with. Not just because they're now a punching bag, but because they are, you know, a lot trickier. That's something I can appreciate. But yeah, if it's just like increase enemies to bullet sponge levels, then it's like,
Name your rate, I will pay you for this work.
nah, no thanks.
Do this one gratis, wouldn't you?
Just pick the option that gives me the most content for the easiest difficulty. That's fair, that's fair. There are some games that also do that, aren't there? They'll give you a limited number of what do you call it? They'll give you a limited number of options for the game, like say Toho, for example. If you play on easy, you cannot reach the ending. You need to play on normal or above. So there are those kinds of games as well, and I can't appreciate doing that. Because I mean, after all, what is a game for if not to enjoy yourself? Some people enjoy themselves by, you know, having the game on a hard difficulty, improving themselves, right? That's cool. I respect that. But that's not the only way to go about it, not even close, right? So as long as you're having fun with the game, I guess that's all that matters, really. Eh. Open door. It's Rapture again. No way. Yeah.
Seems my instincts were correct.
Where's Sally?
Let me let her talk for a little
But I know
bit.
someone who does.
I've been talking over them this entire
Follow me.
time. As long as you don't call us brats, you're fine. I probably wouldn't do that. I'd feel weird if I called you brats. That sound weird, honestly. And Cohen, why even ask? I'm gonna try and find like the voxophones, which are not called voxophones in Rapture. I forget what their name is.
My business. But I know where to start looking.
Play on average first. I think that is a good way to go about it, right?
Particular talents could be useful.
Because like the thing with game difficulty is that usually they're fine-tuned such that you...
An autograph?
Listen, I'm talking here. Such that you should play on like medium or whatever the equivalent is first, right? Because they expect you to learn from that first run on normal, and then once you are more skilled, you can challenge the harder difficulties, right? That's sort of how I look at it now. Like, I was kind of See, the reason why I thought about like playing games on the hardest difficulty. There's so many people talking. My God, there's so many people talking. Jesus. The reason why I would pick the hardest difficulty. Fuck me. The reason why I would pick the hardest difficulty is because I would think, oh no, I need to test myself when I'm still new with the game, because if I do it when I'm more skilled, then it won't mean as much. And it's like, that is so nonsensical, you know? That is so silly. Why would me being less skilled have anything to do with proving myself? Oh, I have to prove that I'm just innately gifted at this game. No, that's not the way the games work. That's not the way that anything works. You build yourself up from nothing and then eventually just test yourself against harder and harder challenges, right? At least that's the way that I think now, but back then it was more different. More different? I don't think that's correct. Just different, really. Wow, little sisters, creepy little things.
What happened to these?
Can I move past her?
What are they?
I can, okay.
Where have you been? Cabinet
I thought they would
Arcadia?
force me to look at the little
Little
sisters.
sisters. Atom factories.
It's grotesque.
Playthrough SMT3 on the hardest difficulty for my first playthrough is a bad idea. It's not a good idea at all. It's a terrible fucking idea, honestly. Because Nocturne does that thing where they literally just make everything higher, like they scale up the numbers, and that's about it, right? You will take more damage, the enemies, I think, will have... I'm not sure if they will have more health, but I do believe they will. You can't run away, for one. You just can't escape unless you have a skill for it, so trying the run option is just literally giving the enemy a free turn to kill you. And the most important thing, and this is what really killed it for me, right? It wasn't the random encounters, it wasn't the enemy difficulty, it wasn't all that. The thing that killed it for me when it came to Nocturne was that on the harder difficulties, the items on the shops, including the Magatamas, which are items that give you abilities, they are all 3 or 5 times the price of normal. And that's kind of what broke me, because at that point you're just making it so the game is grindier. That's literally all you're doing. If I have to, you know, go out of my way to do a bunch of battles so I can get, you know, 3 or 5 times the money, that's just making me grind more, and that's just not fun at all. I do not appreciate that. Maybe if I were, you know, at a point where normal didn't give me the, you know, the difficulty that I wanted, then yes, I can see that as being a good thing. But starting off on that, it's too much. It's brutal. It really is. The first enemy crit me twice and I died. Yeah. Yeah, you can just die to the tutorial. That's a thing as well. Are you also hyped for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2? Sorry, I don't. I don't watch Jujutsu Kaisen and I don't read it either. I'm fairly sure I tried to pick it up a while back, but I dropped it for some reason that I forget now. But I know that a lot of people are very excited for it. I know that they are very excited for it, so hopefully they enjoy it. Always go hard, but change to medium if I need too many tries. That's a good way to go about it as well, I think. Because if you have that kind of game where you can just like switch it midway, I think I might be able to do that as well here. Yeah, I can. I can switch it midway through. And the thing is, there's also like games these days that do more than that as well. Not just like the, you know, normal, easy, hard difficulty levels. There's also a number of just customizable everything, right? Like say infinite stamina. Enemies deal half damage, deal 1/4 damage. Enemies don't attack unless they're like in front of you. All these kinds of customizable bits and bobs, right? In more modern games, which I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that, to be honest with you. Because it's like, I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing or anything, but my brain looks at that and thinks too much. There is no way I can wrap my head around it, you know? It's like so many options, and I cannot deal with all of them.
About the little sisters. How long have you been?
But, you know, like I said, I think it's a good thing. I think it's an alright thing.
If I wanted to share my life story, Mr. DeWitt, I would write my memoirs.
Difficulty should be put in game as optional tests, secret bosses, viable options.
To mind their own business.
Maybe I should wait for her
Where
to
are we
stop
headed?
The man we
talking.
need to see is in the Garden of the Muses.
How do you know?
My sources are my own.
I'm just talking over her because we
You have
did
better
like
information
play
as to the
this
whereabouts of the
before,
young
so
girl.
I know about all
I
this
suggest you
information.
get
But
her
if you're interested in the story, then you should probably just mute me and read the subtitles. I'm just like zooming through because I took so long in this before. But yeah, secret bosses, viable options, buff everything is player's choice. I have difficulty jumping in
Where
New
you
Game
taking me?
When's
Plus.
the last time you saw Sally?
Aren't you just
She was
describing
taken
Dark
from you,
Souls?
wasn't she?
You know this.
She was taken.
That sounds like Dark
Surprise.
Souls a lot.
You were playing the
Oh
tables.
man.
She disappeared.
Love the game, but the
A
hard
cop
difficulty is
friend of
just
mine.
AI gets nasty
Saw
buffs
her.
but still plays as
Says they
poorly.
found her
Yeah,
floating in the
Did you
it's
see the body?
Look.
Did you see?
it's unfortunate when that's the way that difficulty is
This
handled,
world
right?
values children.
Because it's
Not
it's just that, right? It's like I don't feel
There's
like this is
profit to be made in men who
it's not
make.
fair anymore, right?
I'm taking you to one of
It's
them.
hard, sure, but anything is hard if you want it to
Mr.
be,
DeWitt, you all
right?
I'm fine.
If I were to
these spells
put a
sometimes.
Big Daddy in place of every single enemy in this game, the game would be hard, would it not? It would be hard, but it would also be frustrating and would not be well balanced. It would be bad, in short, right? Just because something is challenging does not mean it's, you know, a good chat. What? Oh, it's already loaded. I thought it wasn't loaded. I was looking at it and... Yeah, it wasn't loaded. Okay. Just because something is challenging doesn't mean it's a good challenge, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. I think that's like a hard thing, right? It's a hard thing to like balance for sure. But I do appreciate it when developers go the extra mile and they do try and spice it up with unique little additions instead of just like more health, less damage. Whoa. You know? There's not many games that I'll choose the hardest difficulty in other than Kingdom Hearts. KH2 beginner or critical are the only ways I can play the game anymore. I can respect that. I can respect that. I know people like that as well. I know people like that. On Persona 4 Golden, how you can customize damage both sides deal. Pressing the live going double damage for party and enemies. Christ, you are living on the edge. Double damage for party and enemies? You get hit by one Megidolo and you're done. Whew. Never played any Dark Souls games? You should try. That's what they do a lot. That is what they do a lot. Especially like Dark Souls 2, although that one is a bit contentious. Dark Souls 2 has a little mechanic where... So Dark Souls has New Game Plus, right? And when you go into New Game Plus, the enemies, you know, get harder to deal with because they gain, well, more health and more damage. That's, I think, pretty much... Well, not for Dark Souls 2, though. Sorry, I'm just, like, jumping all over the place. Let me start back. Dark Souls 2 has a mechanic that allows you to burn an item which increases the area you're in into New Game Plus status, right? So the area associated with that bonfire is now New Game Plus, which means the enemies get, you know, stronger. They gain more health, they deal more damage. Oh. Thank you for the resub, Gambit. 22 months in a row. God damn, that is so long. Oh my goodness. That is a long ass time. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Where was I though? Where was I? Yes, Dark Souls 2. So they have that where New Game Plus will increase the enemy health and damage, but also they will make it so that some enemies have some new particularities or drop some new items, which is a very, very cool thing. For example, in one of the areas, there is a boss that you fight. It's a spider, a giant spider. And all the way going through to that spider, nothing happens. But if you go on New Game Plus, there's an area where they'll jump at you from a chasm, and they'll just like initiate a preemptive boss battle, right? You don't actually get to kill them or anything, but it's like really cool because it just like surprises you on a second playthrough, right? You're just going through the area and you're like, okay, this is how it goes. And suddenly, boom, there it is, right in front of you. So, you know, it's one of the better ways to do that New Game Plus sort of thing, right? Because usually you're just doing a New Game Plus, you're doing, you know, yourself super powered against, you know, enemies that are like maybe regular powered, maybe they are stronger, I don't know, but it's mostly the same game. But Dark Souls 2 is like, no, we are going to add new cool things. And I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it a lot. Dark Souls 2 did a lot of cool things, but unfortunately it was also kind of... It had a very attribulated Is that a word in English? It had a very rough development period, is what I should say. But it did come out as a fairly unique game. There's a reason why a number of people consider it the best Dark Souls. And not me, but some people. Oh. Played Skyrim on highest difficulty, was easy after you used infinite health. Cheat god. That doesn't count. That does not count, okay? Hard's not necessarily good or bad, same with easy. True, true. I mean, there are people that just like enjoy going through the game, trouncing enemies and, you know, not really having any kind of obstacles in front of them, and I can appreciate that as well. I like to, every time that I play Devil May Cry, what I like to do is I like to play through the harder difficulties, then I'll go on easy and just like trounce enemies. It's kind of like my, what do you call it? It's kind of like my, what is it? There's a word for it, but it's my celebratory lap, I think is what they call it. It's like I've beaten this really hard mode, or, you know, just hard mode. I deserve this. I deserve to have a little treat. And as a little treat, I go and just murder everything in front of me. As a little treat, you know? As a little treat. I deserve to have a little bit of a murder spree sometimes. So I do understand that. I do understand enjoying that sort of thing, but oh, I've not been playing the audio logs, have I? I should probably play that as well. I'll play them after we're in the game proper and not just like walking around. And then we can just like listen to them and read them in the menu. So don't worry about that, okay? Don't worry about that. Prime's up, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Did you know that if you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for no additional costs whatsoever? It is free 99. And you give me money. Smile. Isn't that such a good usage of your Twitch Prime, wouldn't you say? You're gonna get cool, question mark, emotes, too. So good. Wait, the emotes that I have... Yeah, the emotes that I have are the ones that I... Okay, good, good, good. I have, like, follower emotes, but those are the ones that I think, Are they the ones that I made, or... I forgot how much slots I put the ones that I made and the ones that I actually commissioned in. Anyways, you get emotes. That's all you need to know. Smile. Have you heard of the new game Taurus Land? No, not at all. What is it? Not at all. In well, Taurus Land. Yeah, no clue what that is.
Mr. DeWitt.
Sounds similar to what I put in my posted notes, where New Game Plus would make a new story with question, what if Big Bad Evil Guy knew you resetted the world with New Game Plus? That would be an interesting way to go about it, wouldn't it? That would be an interesting way to go about it. I think there's always like a number of ways to go about, you know, games and how to make them interesting. But, I mean, a lot of times just making the game, period, is draining enough, you know? So I can't really fault people for not having like the extra, you know, bits and baubles with New Game Plus and other little thingies. Because yes, they would enhance the game, but sometimes it's just draining enough to make the game, period. So I can't really fault people for that. Now that you say this, I remember always asking stupid questions so you can plug Prime back in the day. If you remember, I do. I do remember people always doing that. I don't remember who it was, but now that you're saying it's you, I'm like, yes, that makes sense. That tracks. I do remember people always being like, oh, hey, I wish I knew what to do with my Twitch Prime. Well, you see. You see. Whatever that barber did to you, I hope he's retained a capable attorney. Was she talking about me? How dare you. How dare you say that? How dare you say that to me? What? What were we talking about? I kind of forgot what we were talking about after I just like went and ate the popcorn. I remember that I was talking about the popcorn last time I played this as well. I was asking everybody in chat if they would eat popcorn they just found on the side of the street. Like it's free popcorn, right? And looks just fine. Would you eat it? Yes or no? And it's like, I mean, maybe, right? I wouldn't. I know that I wouldn't, but it's like I wouldn't fault anybody for like eating it. I mean, hell, like look at this. Who leaves their plates just completely uneaten? Like I'm sitting down and eating that, you know? But popcorn on the side of the street, even though it looks pristine, I'm I'm kind of suspicious of that, you know?
That's
Why is it pristine? What do who left it here? What is the story behind this? Grimace shake.
another one. Hey, you got an issue with my food pal? You're welcome to put on an apron.
Thanks. Anyway, I'm just gonna steal this from you. Appreciate it. Needed the code. It's 2076. Gotcha. It's really funny how you can just like come back here and is that big snout? Oh my god. It's really funny how I can just like come in here and steal shit and they will not say anything about it. Elizabeth, you were in my way. Elizabeth, you. Yum, free saliva. Well, I mean, listen. We're assuming that it's uneaten popcorn, okay? It looks like nobody has touched it at all, so it's not, you know, that. 2076. There we go. It's not much that we find in here, just like a few pieces of. Wait. Thought we could find some pieces of gold over here. Or I guess just coins. I guess I should say that. Really, just the audio log, huh? Okay. Oh, $1. I mean, I could get it twisted, but I should probably not do that. Anyway, let's keep going with the story once again.
Find my source inside of that club.
Once again, I do want to get this done, you know, nice and quick. WoW's license is running out in China, and local publisher refused to extend it, but instead made an announcement to create its own game. It's called Terrasland. Beta is out, and it's almost a one-to-one copy of WoW. Good. Fuck them. Listen, my heart goes out to the developers behind World of Warcraft to pour their heart and soul into the game, but honestly, Activision Blizzard just deserves to burn.
No entry
They
without
really just need to crash and burn hard. Just scorched earth, no survivors, and from its ashes, a newer, stronger Activision Blizzard will be reborn. One without scandals and drama, and hopefully actually humane treatment of its employees. God, can you imagine? Can you imagine treating people like people? Crazy.
I'm with the artist struggle. We're
Ugh.
expected.
Return of the Rat. How you doing, Turtle Sages? Welcome on in.
These invitations
We are back in
Mouse
Rapture,
spoke of, they must have gone to
and
some
we are
artisans.
going to go ahead and steal some shit, as befits us.
The
Doesn't
business of
Microsoft own them now?
Rapture says it's
They did
sponsored
do
by
that,
the
didn't
artist
they?
struggle,
A while ago.
Golden
They
Grove
purchased them.
Rapture
I'm not sure if the deal like went through or not. I think it did. I know there was like some kind of commotion about it as well, but I forget exactly how it went. Thank you. Do I really need to go to the? Yeah, I do. I guess there was a bit of commotion about that, but I do think that Microsoft completed the acquisition. Speaking of Microsoft, oh my God, honestly, you are close.
There's a debt that needs
Please
repaying.
get away
I've
from me.
known my share of Shylocks.
Thank you.
You're no Shylock.
Anyway,
Wasn't that
speaking of Microsoft acquiring something, there was that talk about the Fallout
Invitations to
acquisition
code
as well,
shows are
right?
highly coveted. Nobody's gonna
That
just
they
hand
had
us
basically bought up
think you could figure out a way
Bethesda
to
to
distract the
prevent
store while I
Starfield
take
from
one. You just
going
find
to
the mouse.
PlayStation,
Leave the
which is
distractions to me.
kind of worrisome, I gotta be honest. In a world where you can just like buy studios like that to make games go to you and not your competitor. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess Bethesda are the ones that decided to accept the offer, right? But it's like, how do I put it? It feels like that way you're just stifling competition, right? Because it's like, it doesn't come down to we need to create a better game. It comes down to we'll spend the most money to buy up all the studios that are good, right? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just overthinking it too much, but yeah. Anyways,
Excuse me.
go get I don't
Lady
know,
has some
knocked out
questions.
by Elizabeth or
Well, yes,
something.
of course.
I'm interested in this piece.
Excellent. You and I, haven't you, miss? It's a natural
You know, I'm
sapphire
gonna just like
diamond
stay here and watch it.
fully hallmarked for
Or maybe I
Paris,
no, I'm probably not gonna
That's
be fast
a lot
enough.
of fine talk about a stolen ring.
I beg your pardon?
Right out of her coffin in Twilight Fields. Did you think we wouldn't notice?
I can assure you that
The assurances of a grave robber are of no interest to me. If you hand the ring back, the matter will remain between you and me.
you come into my shop and talk this trash. I don't think so. Hit the bricks, you tramp, or I'll see to it they hit you.
Get your hands off me! Might be best if we were gone when he wakes up.
My
Did you look for the mask?
God.
Didn't see one.
There's no other
I
way to
literally
get us into
didn't even go
Cohen's.
in.
It's got to be back there.
I like how the game is just like, didn't see one. I literally didn't even go in.
Cohen sends those masks out with some kind of
That
bugs.
was funny. That was funny. Oh, posture check. Appreciate it, Turtle. Oh, wasn't shrimping too much or anything, but always good to make sure that my posture is nice and prim and proper. And all of that good stuff.
Damn,
There we go.
must be somewhere else.
Now we can safely say that it's not here. Really interesting how it just says I didn't see one even though we did not go in. I'm assuming that they probably would, or I'm thinking that they would assume me to like go in while the kerfuffle is going on, but just kind of wanted to watch it. It's interesting that they didn't have that in mind, I guess. I'm trying to find a way to like not really... It's like, it's not really that big of a deal, so I'm not trying to like, you know, cast any shade on them for not having like a different dialogue option, but it's like, yeah, you know? Yeah. Anyways, bye-bye. Should have probably just given this the mask.
Any luck?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find another shop.
It's like that in every industry. Once a small company starts to get
Where
big,
should
my
we look
company comes and
next?
buys them before they get serious
Upstairs at the
competitors.
artist's struggle,
That does happen a
or
lot,
Rapture
doesn't
Records
it?
straight ahead?
I do love the free market. It's a wonderful, wonderful little notion that just absolutely has no, it holds no water whatsoever in the real world. Have you seen how many companies Disney owns, by the way? They own like half the world. It's
Please, come in.
and the best part is I love when there are people
You see that dish
that
I walked in with?
make it their mission to protect these companies, you know?
Worth your while.
It's like, no, don't criticize the multi-billion-dollar company. No, it's like,
Interesting, isn't it? An original
dog.
Sam Cohen. He calls it miasma.
Is this really the hill you want to die
I
on?
know precious little about
Come on, man.
How does it make you feel?
Oh, right, this is the guy that had so much... I can't drink this or else I'm gonna lose all my Eve. Whiskey crate, no. I do like the idea that I just like rifle through the crate and I just drink everything immediately. I'm just like trying to gather whatever's inside, but instead I just swallow all the alcohol in sight.
Only one place left.
Why not, I guess? Why not? I feel like they're buying the popular IPs instead of the people making the games. Well, that is so, because in the games industry, basically, if you don't belong to like an established studio, if you're just like brought in...
Until tomorrow.
How did... You're not supposed to be here. This game is flawless. It has absolutely no bugs or glitches. It is just an amazing, just wonderful specimen of... Let's move on, shall we? The world...
No. Got one place
Oh
left,
my
though.
And if
god.
that proves to be fruitless.
We'll cross that.
Anyway, yeah, what I was talking about, in game development, when you have people that are brought in to make a game, they'll just get, you know, sent back onto the streets after the development is finished, right? And then they'll just like hire more people. That's why also it's kind of hard to deal with things like crunch and unfair work conditions? Work conditions? What is the word? I think it's work conditions that I'm looking for. Anyway, that's why it's hard to deal with those kinds of things, because if you don't want to do it, they'll just fire you and hire replacements. There's a lot of replacements out there. They will literally just grind through you until you're dust, and then hire a younger, more energetic replacement. That is literally the way that they'll do things. Because it works. Because it makes them money, right? And it's really awful, honestly. It really is. If you just go onto one of these studios, I mean, that's the way that it is, you know?
Hey, pal.
Crunch is such a
Help out the
thing.
little lady?
It's almost like standardized, you know? It's like, oh, if you go into the games development industry, you gotta expect crunch. It will happen. It's not an if, it's a when. And usually it's, you know, when you're making the games. There we go. Get the mask. Anyway, there are some studios that don't do this kind of thing, and that is very good. I do appreciate that they, you know, are fighting against the waves, against the what do you call it? Against the flow. There we go. But unfortunately, it's still just such a prevalent thing, you know. You just hear about crunch everywhere. I mean, it's not just like, of course, it's not just like the games development industry at all, right? Just recently, we heard about how Spider-Man, what is it called? Into the Spider-Verse, Through the Spider-Verse. I forget what the title is, but the recent Spider-Man movie, right? A lot of artists just like came out complaining about the crunch time, and yeah, it's such a prevalent thing in pretty much any kind of like I'm gonna say like creative industry, but honestly, even outside of that, most likely, in pretty much every industry, I guess I gotta say, really, it's like you're expected to just like work, you know, and if you work more than what your schedule demands, I mean, I'm sorry, man, but I mean, we're a family, right? We're a family. You wouldn't turn your back on your family now, would you? Yes, I fucking would. Yes, I would. Unfortunately, that means absolutely nothing to you, however, because you will just hire more people.
Can't imagine what employment would lead you to tag along.
All my homies hate Big Corporal. I hate Big Corporal with a fucking passion.
This better work. Otherwise,
Hate. Absolute distaste for it. Ugh. Living in GBF right now, gonna have some mac and cheesy. Very good. Very good. Have yourself a little bit of yummy food. Have yourself a comfortable time. Maybe roll some characters and all that. In my company this week, 12 minimum wage workers went to the big boss's office to complain about their wage, because the company hires new people with less experience who earn more. Small riot. I mean, it's that kind of thing, isn't it?
So who is this fellow?
You'll just...
Some sort of underworld
You'll just,
Worse. He's an artist.
Hold on, let him talk.
Children.
Cohen's muse is a bit more diverse. I've seen his type. Gets an idea in his head, end a conversation. Don't matter who gets hurt.
Okay. It's it really is that kind of thing, right? Because you have people who, oh, she still has the thimble or whatever it's called. That's a neat little detail. But yeah, you have people who just like suffer under all of these unfair conditions, right? And I mean, a lot of the times you can't really do anything about it. Not just because, you know, it doesn't matter, but also because, I mean, what if that's your only job, right? And you depend on it to survive. You don't really have the luxury of complaining, you know? So then you get thrown into the blender, just get crushed. It's really scary, honestly, to think about that kind of thing. It really, really is. It really, really is. That's why I try not to think about it too much. Still chuckling how the movie ended, plus the news when they promised that the new Spider-Man comes in 2026. Ooh. Well, you know. I still haven't watched the movie. I haven't watched the first one either. I've yet to, I do want to watch it, but, well, I'm waiting for the Blu-ray to come out so that I can acquire it legally. Smile. Smiles, blushes, pisses. Maybe not the last part. I don't really watch too much. I mean, I've talked about this at length before, but when it comes to dealing with media, I'm not much of a watcher. I'm more of a reader, right? And a player, I suppose. But it's because a movie has a set time. Sucks to be them. A movie has a set time, right? If I'm watching something, it means that I have to stay there for this amount of time, unless I'm some lunatic and I watch it on like 1.5 or 2 times speed, which I just wouldn't do. That would ruin the entire point, right? But if I'm watching something, that means that I have to be there for that long, right? I can't do anything about it. If I'm playing a game, it's uncertain. I can be there for however I want, right? For however long I want, for however short I want. I can call it whenever, right? But if I call it watching something, it just feels like, this sucks. I should probably like watch it all the way to the end. So I can't really do that, right? But then I know that I have to stay there for this long, yeah? It's the same thing when like reading something. It's like, I can call it whenever I want, and I'm not really forced to like go for, you know, obscenely long periods of time either. I'm just free to do whatever I want, really. I don't find that freedom in watching things, in movies or in anime or in whatever.
Who are you?
So it's rough for me to watch things.
Is that right?
Anyway, what was I talking about again? Please do get the Blu-ray. It has better features. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a real
Pirate's life. I mean, we are in the sea, I guess. That's the only reason why I'm saying that, right? Smile.
A few questions.
question.
And you get some broccoli. You know what's good? Take some broccoli, sprinkle on some olive oil and salt, and throw in a toaster oven. I have heard that. I have heard that that is pretty damn good. I've never done it myself. I'll be honest with you. The only way that I've ever had broccoli was
More than most.
boiled, I guess, which doesn't really give it that much taste.
Are you not?
It doesn't get the best of textures either.
Watch this
Not
one.
very much of a fan, if I'm gonna be
Take where
honest with
don't
you.
want to go.
Probably try doing that
But I
sometime,
know the
honestly.
child in that photo is important to you. So many children flit away.
I don't really... I'm not sure if I should just, like, not talk over this, but it's like, once again, I've already seen all of it, so it's like, you know.
And I will send you to her. In exchange, all I ask is a
I know we're about to get electrocuted, no surprise.
I see
But the problem is that if I keep talking, they might just get too loud, they might drown me out, and I'm worried about that.
And I will show you where you need to
I'm worried about that part.
Mr. DeWitt.
F F F F F F F F F F F F F F F F F. There we go. I did have a question to ask as well, though. So the DLC, right? The DLC for Burial at Sea, quite obviously, you know, takes place in Rapture, right? But that's like the thing. Yeah. What do you guys think about that sort of thing when games return to like the iconic location? Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of times
You so sure?
it
But
can
it's so
come
sure,
off
Miss
as
Sally.
cheap.
I'd know it.
It's like,
How?
oh,
Was I
look
tell
at the
you
thing you
to
know.
ask them?
So,
Or don't you enjoy this? Don't you like this just because you're like in this location again? Right? Like,
Listen, we're not gonna keep Fitzpatrick!
okay, there that goes. I kind of like it, honestly. You know, it is cheap to just be like, you know, relying on that sort of, you know, that sort of factor. But I mean, I'm a sucker for it, if I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like, I point at the screen and I go, yes, I recognize this. It depends. It does, doesn't it? Because like when it works, it really works, right? Like let me think of a time when I'm thinking of like Ratchet and Clank. They've done that with Metropolis, but it's not really the same kind of thing. But there's like moments when you just like come upon
Mr. DeWitt.
the place and it's, you know, older, it's changed, but you're like, damn, wait a second, this is that place.
I thought.
You know? When that happens, when they do it like that, Metal Gear Solid 4, The Return to Shadow Moses was so good. Oh my god, the Shadow So, my opinion on Metal Gear Solid 4 is that it's not as good as the, you know, its predecessors. It's not as good as 1, 2, or 3. But it does have some shining moments. One of those shining moments is Shadow Moses. It's just such a wonderful little trip back to it. It really is. It doesn't feel...
Look.
A lot of the game honestly feels like, do you remember this part? Do you remember when this happened? That was cool, wasn't it? Shadow Moses does not feel like that. Shadow Moses just feels like love for Metal Gear Solid Metal Gear Solid 1 coming through. It's like, damn, remember this part? Remember when this happened? If you put your camera on overhead view, Snake even comments on that. You can find the camera and it's broken, there's chaff grenades in the same spot.
How many people do you suppose Ryan
It's so good, dude. It's old and busted just like Snake, but it still works, baby. Just
Now they're down
like
there, spliced up and
Snake.
wild. Alright, there's a dock up ahead.
Iconic like what Pokemon Gold/Silver did once you finish the game the first time. That is a good one as well. That is a really good one as well. You finish you go through Johto, and then you find out that Kanto's on the other side. You're like, no,
Perpetuity.
no way.
Let's see.
Oh my god. It's really cool. It's really cool. It can be great for things like anniversary and milestone situations. Once again, as long as it's done properly and doesn't feel, you know, like a cheap, you know, callback, it can be magical. It really can.
Seem to be some supplies this way, Mr.
It
DeWitt.
can be also pretty hard to do, but
Call me Booker.
If it's all the same to you, let's leave it at Mr. DeWitt.
damn. Okay, all right, Elizabeth. Ow, my hand. He's remembering. He's remembering as I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid 4. You know what? You know what games also has flashbacks? Metal Gear Solid 4! Oh my god! I mashed X so hard on those cutscenes. Even when it wasn't there. Even when it wasn't there, because I'm fairly sure they had a few secret ones, I was just like, I don't trust. Let me just mash X for, you know, good measure. Just go ahead and make sure that there isn't anything here. And you know, it worked. It really did. That might be the only time I felt iconic then. Later Pokemons didn't catch up with their remakes and third games. Yeah. It's... So I've only played... For the remakes, I've only played Soul Silver and Heart Gold, right? I've also played, I guess, some Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I don't think that really counts. At least not in my eyes, but it should. Anyway, I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I gotta say that it's wonderful. I do think it's a really good remake of, you know, the originals. But I have heard not so great things about the more recent remakes, and yeah, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I can't say that I'm too pleased to hear about that, you know. AFK chillin', all good, Bear. Hope you're having a good time, my friend. Hope you're having a good time. Enter, accept. So I gotta actually focus when we get into a firefight, because this DLC actually does demand a little bit from you. If I screw around a little bit too much, it will kick me in the nuts. I gotta be a bit careful. The best remakes were Ruby and Sapphire? Really? I gotta play those then, because 3rd gen was my favorite. 3rd gen was so fucking good. There was just something about 3rd gen. Some je ne sais quoi, you know, to quote the French.
Look up there.
I shouldn't have said that. I should have said to quote like the German. That's one of my favorite jokes to make, by the way. It's like to say something in like some language and just like say the wrong language. Some je ne sais quoi, to quote the Italians. It's a really wonderful game that has that little bit of something to it, right? I really do like when the games have that something. And if you're wondering what I mean by something, I just can't explain it. It either has it or it doesn't. You know it when it's there, and you know it when it's not there. But you can't quite put your finger on it, you know? That kind of something. Hope Elizabeth gives us cake at the end of the game. Not like in Portal ending, shut up. What are you talking about? Ugh. Fire Red and Leaf Green had the Sevi Islands. Those are so cool. It was really neat going through the islands, wasn't it?
A skyhook.
It was really neat.
Skyhook? You mean the air grabber? Kids use them to ride around up on the Numo lines.
Every time people try and make nostalgic / iconic moments in games and movies, I get reminded how Try was presented. Try?
Never
Like
mind.
Monster Hunter Try? Or... That's the only Try that comes to mind. If there's another one. Oh, Digimon Try. I have heard some not so good things about that, yeah. Honestly, I really want to get back into Digimon. I watched, I think the first 3 seasons, but it was on TV, so I never, like, really got the whole gist of it. And I kind of want to do that, honestly. I really do. I should probably try and get into it
Grabber stuck.
sometime in the future.
Mr. DeWitt.
But then again, I'm trying to get back into a number of things. I've been thinking about rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! To fill in the holes once again. I'm thinking of watching a number of movies, but
Alright,
like I
get the
said,
grabber on, James.
it's difficult. It's hard to do.
No.
Oh, what is up with my frame rate? Oh, what is up with my frame rate? Goodness gracious. That was interesting. That was very interesting indeed.
Mr. DeWitt. Look.
Oh yeah, they're talking about the thing.
housewares.
Love the
That's
Omega
where
Ruby and
Colin
Alpha
said we'd find
Sapphire. Not
Sally.
perfect, but still very delightful.
Store
That's
ran
good.
trails
That's good.
between
I
the three
appreciate that.
buildings. We'll need to avail
Iconic moments aren't
ourselves of
crafted, they just happen.
Assuming it still works.
optimism, Mr. Joy.
I mean,
It helps in situations like this.
yes and no. Yes and no. You definitely need to have a deliberate hand behind them. But I do agree that sometimes it's just like, it clicks, right? It's like, oh, like so. In that sense, I do agree with it. But they do need to be crafted deliberately. It's just, you're doing it and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, it's this. And boom, you just get it. You just, you know, find your way into gold. Money. Just like I find my way to gold. It's like we've grown up, huh? Times every episode, plus have we lost our child wonder? I don't like that kind of thing, you know? I really don't like that sort of thing. I was talking about it yesterday on another chat when we raided into Garo Garo, right? She was talking about the Indiana Jones movies, and she was talking about the new one, Dial of Destiny. And in Dial of Destiny, they apparently do a lot of Indiana Jones is like old and busted and whatever. And it feels like that's also what they do in Metal Gear Solid 4, by the way. It feels like my dog is barking outside, by the way. It feels like a lot of these return to form sort of games, shows, what have you, right? They kind of take that sort of route where it's like, damn, we're not as young anymore, we're not as good anymore, we're busted, you know, we don't have this, we don't have that, and I kind of really don't like that. It's such a negative mentality, you know? It's such a, you know, oh, we're not as we were back then, therefore it sucks, right? And I really don't like that. I really, really don't. I much prefer when it's like, yes, we've grown up, yes, we've gotten different, but we're still us. We still got it, right? I just don't really like that negativity at all. I just really don't appreciate it. It just tells such a bad, what do you call it?
Jeez.
Such a
I guess
bad
around
message.
51? No. 48?
That's a rather large
Every other
gap.
Yu-Gi-Oh series is fire. Ghost Game Pog.
Life I had before.
I know that
Sort of.
I know that people really like 5Ds,
49.
and
49 for sure.
from what I understand, Vrains as well. I myself like GX.
Just keep your eyes
I've
open
heard
for
bad things about Arc
surprises.
V,
You can do us a whole lot
and the
worse.
original Yu-Gi-Oh is like, it's ups and downs, right? But for the most part, Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty damn good, pretty damn entertaining too.
Birds that didn't like seeds.
So you know, I think that even for Arc V, I can probably like find some interesting stuff in it. Even though I hear that it just like shits the bed really hard into the later stages of the anime, which is very funny to me. There we go. Sorry, let me just focus a little bit on the combat, because once again, it does need to be. Come on, let me execute you. There we go. I don't know what it is with Arc V, but yeah, I just heard a lot of people just really do not like it at all whatsoever. I'm like, I mean, this sounds bad, but I'm interested.
Mr. Dewey,
The rats, no.
Well, there's the
No.
trend.
that splicer had no problem.
Video games
freezing
trying to
paths
take
from
themselves
south
seriously
to
as the status storytelling.
this
There are games that
because
take themselves very, very seriously,
You'll prove persuasive.
and yeah, honestly, sometimes that is just like the downfall of the game, because it's like they take themselves so seriously, but the story is just not good enough to back it up. You know, it just is not good enough to back it up, and so you're just stuck with, wow, this kind of blows. I wish it was, you know, a little bit more. I wish it was a little bit more, you know, just fun, right? Primo example of that, by the way. Also, yes, GX enjoyer, of course. I'm like halfway into GX, and I have been for like years now, but we'll finish GX one day. Just you wait. But one of the primo examples of a story that takes itself too seriously in a game and to the game's detriment is DMC. I am telling you right now, if the game took itself just a little bit less seriously, if the game just you know was not as bad as it is, I think it would have been enjoyable. I really do. I do think it would have been enjoyable. It's just the game is not, the story is not that good. And the game pretends it is, and it just is not. So now we're having to sit here, listening to these jackasses go on and on about something that does not fucking matter whatsoever, trying to make me care when I just can't care because the story sucks. When I just wanted Dante to, you know, I just wanted Dante to be Mexican. That's all that I wanted. I wanted to be a telenovela. That's all I wanted out of DMC. That is all I wanted out of it. And it would have been just, magnifique. But it wasn't. It wasn't. And it sucked for it. It really did. It really did. Stopped at 5Ds, tuned out of Vrains. Arc V was nice because it was that it actually sort of looks like actual Yu-Gi-Oh! What do you mean by actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Exactly? Because Arc V is about pendulum summoning. And that's about when a lot of people tuned out of the game because they were like, pendulum summoning, this is no longer the Yu-Gi-Oh! That I know. I'm interested to know in what you mean like actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, this is the one that I need to freeze, right?
Store sunk a few hundred feet.
Didn't understand why they had to do on bikes. It's just world building, don't worry about it. Reiji is the best character since Kaiba. Reiji? Who's Reiji? I haven't watched, Oh, yeah, there we go. He's the goober. He's the CEO. Did you know about it, by the way? Did you know about that? That DDDs are about demons, but also CEOs? They're about, a lot of puns that, involve, people in high financial, or not financial, in high directive positions like CFOs and CEOs and directors of board and yada yada yada. They're all about that, and it's so funny because you don't really get that sort of thing through the English version now, do you? But it's insane. It's insanely funny. Just like go through the Japanese version. It's like, oh, this is a pun because this means high king, but it also means CFO. Also, DDD has the most ridiculous names in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! What is that? What is that one? The Ragnarok card? Let me see. This is one of those things that also like people that haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In a while talk about. It's like how names have gotten so ridiculous. And this is true for a few of them. DDD is like, if you see a single DDD card, if you showed a single DDD card name to a Victorian child, they would have an aneurysm on the spot. Okay? Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Here we go. Where is it? I need to look for DDD instead. Not this one. Not Oblivion King Ragnarok. There's a number of them, and I forget which one is the one. If I see it, I will know it, but... God DDD Divine Zero King Rage. That is a really good one. That is a really good one. Oh man. The names are just immense. DDD Flame King Genghis, DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, DDD Caesar, or no, this is made up. This is made up. This is not a card that exists. Oh my god. This is so good. I love it. They have such amazing names. Gotta have the right balance of serious and fun. True. RV has pendulum summoning. Most characters aren't from the particular dimension. They even learn to use pendulums. Yeah, but it features pendulum summoning, so you know. GX didn't get a season 4 because 5Ds was already out, and 4 kids wanted to move on to the best thing quicker. Wait, hold on a minute. Huh? What do you mean by that? Watching Japanese because final season was never translated. Really? I didn't know about that. That is so funny. That is so funny to me. I guess it kind of makes some sense, I guess? Question mark? It's like F5Ds is out, they want to move on to it, sure, whatever. Okay, here we go. Here's the card that I'm talking about. Here's the card whose name I wanted. DDD... Fucking... Hold on a minute. How long is this name? DDD... Super Doom King Purple Armageddon. It's just words. It is just words attached to each other, okay? It is just words attached to each other. And the Japanese version is DDD Super Death Great King Purplish Hell Armageddon. Yeah. The noun verb, you know? The noun verb. Yeah. Greek mythology philosophers and conquerors, yes, and kings and rulers and etc. It's such an interesting little. That's what I like about Yu-Gi-Oh archetypes, though. It's like the way that they mix together different sorts of how do I put this? Like, for example, a recent archetype. Also, hi, how are you doing, Hoot? Welcome on in. Sorry, we're just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh for a little bit. The recent archetype, the Nouvelle,
Damn things.
are demons from the Getia, from the Ars Getia, right? The 72 demons. But they're mixed in with French dishes. So you have things like bouillabaisse, I think is that how you pronounce the name? That's a dish. But then you have buel, which is like a demon. So you end up with buelabias or something of the sort, right? And it's like, how the fuck do you come up with this? How do you come up with mixing demons with just food names? And then you have the sous ships, which are literally just ships made out of sushi. Oh man, that is the best part about Yu-Gi-Oh for me. Is just how some archetypes just silly, and that's it. You know. GX ends with the protagonist literally dueling death. Doesn't it end with him dueling?
We've got company.
Hold on. Give me a sec. I don't know if anybody here has not watched GX yet or whatever, but I was gonna say that doesn't it end with Judai dueling Yugi?
Just say something from my
Not that I've watched them myself or anything, but I know of it. Oh my goodness gracious, that was the best explosive of my life. Whew. GX and 5D is the only Yu-Gi-Oh series never got the final season dubbed. That is very sad, honestly. It really, really is. I mean, I get the idea, but at the same time, it's like, ugh, you know? Imagine being the person dubbing the character, right? And it's like, oh, you just don't get your final season. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, it's not like you need to care about it, but if it were me, I would personally be like, oh, okay, sure. I guess. Just never get the final season, huh? Cool. Reminds me of what happened in BlazBlue, right? So BlazBlue had English dub all the way through the first 3 games, but when the 4th and final one was coming out, they did not give it an English dub. And that really sucks, because the English dub was really, really liked, you know? It was pretty damn good, I'll be honest with you. And they were just like, no, fuck the English dub. If we have English dub, it'll take longer for this game to come out. And it's like, I mean, yeah, but it's not like people don't want it, you know? And then they never gave it, you know? They could have, like, done an English dub, like DLC or patch later on. They didn't. They just didn't. They just didn't bother with it. So now you have the last game that you've been voicing, you know, all the way through, and the last entry you just don't get to. Cool. Hamburger recipe archetype. Yes. The Nouvelles are really funny. I don't think they're good, but they're really funny. I don't have telekinesis, unfortunately. I wish I did.
I know real well how these buyers think.
Do you now? You really? Oh, I said that we were going to listen to the audio tapes once we were in a safe place, right? We can do that right now. Let me put this on. Starting from down here. One of my favorites is Madolche, which is very similar. Madolche had some competitive stint for a while, or if not competitive, at least rogue. It was very annoying to deal with. You just destroyed cards, they went back to deck. And I think they had a card that just made it that they went back to hand instead, I believe, which is really annoying. It's like you destroy a card, it goes back to hand. Oh, cool, great, wonderful. And they have like the ways to just like recur them like nearly forever. So it's like, okay, great, fun, I suppose. I guess.
Ryan's been good to me. Few are the patrons who
The plot is over at that point. It's like the extra boss of Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, fair.
But even
Don't forget Cosmo, aka Star Wars plus Wizard of Oz. True. Plus something else. I forget what it was though. It's Star Wars plus Wizard of Oz plus.
in the briny.
Wait, hold on a minute. I need to go look
But
for
when
that.
Ryan buried all of Fontaine's
see.
pals in that department
Cosmo, White Joe. I remember that there's like a
someone had to
third
find a
one.
home for all those freshly minted orphans. And if I turned
Cosmo.
$1 or 2 in the process, you can hardly blame me for doing well by doing good.
Wizard of Oz and Star Wars. I'm pretty sure that there was a third motif mixed into it, but it's not like a very obvious one.
Suchong
Wow.
observe strangest of coincidences.
Hmm.
On other side
The wiki
of a
doesn't say
window,
anything either, so maybe I'm just
man in
wrong.
strange hat experimenting on
Pretty
Suchong's
sure it
own
was this
creation.
though. Oh well.
On the plasmid,
Adultery, non-targeting removal. Non-targeting
man
removal is
name
always
of
good.
Fink. Outrage.
Did you know there's a card that actually makes it so that you need to target it to remove it? It's really neat.
But man name of a Fink
I was expecting
is
they would have
no
done the same in
fool.
5Ds, but instead they made an
Through addition of
OVA.
oxidizing
Ah, I see.
agent, turns
Oh,
plasmid.
I'm stupid. Sorry. I should have been like showing the.
Ryan's been good to me.
My bad.
Few
I wanted
are
to
the
show like
patrons
all
who
of the
truly understand the struggle of the
all
artist.
of what they're saying.
But
So
even
I'm talking
I
over
was
it,
a
but people can
little
read.
leery
You
when
know.
he shuttered Fontaine's business and sent that bald
That
buck to
bald
a grave
buck.
deep in the briny.
Hmm.
But when Ryan
Just read some of the manga back in high school, but I don't remember much about it. The manga is very, very different from the anime. I can tell you that much.
someone had to find a home.
The first manga,
for
most of all,
those
because it starts off with
freshly
being
minted orphans.
the idea
My
behind
turn to
Yu-Gi-Oh
dollar
at the
to a
start
process. You can
was
hardly blame me for doing well by doing good.
what do you call it? The idea for Yu-Gi-Oh at the start was less so just about the card game, because the card game didn't even exist at that point in time, right? When the manga was first, put out there. The idea for the game was literally, well, it's called King of Games, right? That's what Yu-Gi-Oh means, and that was the idea. It's like Yu-Gi punishes people by making them play all these kinds of games that exploit their flaws, like they're greedy, like they're just criminals outright. They're evil people, right? And these games exploit their flaws and punish them, right? If they fail to win, which they always fail to win because Yugi is just that bad of a bitch. But then the card game, showed up, and it became such a popular notion that everybody was like, damn, we want more of this card game. And they had to make a card game with the rules for, the card game that was just meant to be a one-off thing. And then, they developed that, they sold it, it turned into a really popular concept, and now the game is that, right? So from there, that point onward, they had, the actual game built, and, they went ahead and yeah, they made what we know of Yu-Gi-Oh today, right?
I had all of these visions before
Now
coming
let me
down
go
here
back
in
to
Utopia.
reading about
Every man
the Zero of Awesome
with
Star
his
Wars.
hand
There's
on a
another
great
one though,
chain,
isn't
the
there?
wheel of progress turning. Every cliche
I guess
you
I'm
can
just
imagine.
maybe I'm just making things up, but
What's the
I was
first thing
sure
that
I
happens when I
remember
open
seeing
the
something
shop?
like that.
Petty thievery.
Oh well.
Now I have to lock all my valuables in the closet. Remember,
Recently, I saw some people going out of their way to compare spirals to Metal Gear Solid on one of the wikis.
It's the problem with coming to Utopia. Is that it still has the people.
What in the world? What do you mean? Because they're spies. That's it. Sorry to say, that's also here's the rest of what he was talking about. Sorry to say, just because they're spies doesn't mean that it's based on Metal Gear Solid, That's that is it's if anything it's based on like spy movies, right? Not Metal Gear Solid. Season 0 is peak Yu-Gi-Oh! I encourage anyone to watch Season 0, especially if they can't get into the card game aspect. It is pretty neat. I have some manga for it. I have some manga, and it's pretty nice, I gotta be honest. It's compelling, if nothing else. There's my favorite story of Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the one where they're having lunch at a diner where what is her name? It's Tea in the English dub, right? She works at it, right? So there's everybody there. There's Yugi, there's Joey, there's the other guy whose name I don't remember, and then there's Tea who was working there, whatever. It's like, haha, funny, we caught her working here, and she's serving us, whatever. Anyways, some dude, some criminal, breaks free from prison, goes there, robs the place, starts saying, I want fucking food, I want drink, I want everything. And then he like slaps Tea, and Yugi goes like, oh, you committed a grave mistake, my friend. You were going to fucking die and perish. So Yugi transforms, and he gives them the game, right? And he goes ahead and says, hi, I will kill you. However, However, I will do so with only one finger, and you are also allowed to do so with only one finger. Do you accept this?" And the guy says, "Of course I do. I'll use my index finger, the one that has, you know, the finger that's on a trigger to kill you." And Yugi's just like, "Great, let's start." Then Yugi just like, with one finger, puts how does he do it again? It's like he has a fucking glass of vodka on the guy's hand, right? And then he starts pouring and pouring and pouring, and he has just like a lighter on him, right? And the guy's just like, "Oh shit, now I have like this glass full of like 90% vodka on my hand, so if I shoot, the glass falls, it goes onto the lighter, I burn and I die." I am explaining it so badly, but basically Yugi just says, "If you shoot me, you will burn to death. Do you want to shoot me? Yes or no?" Question mark. And the guy's just like, "Oh, shit, fuck, what do I do?" And then he just dies. He dies because he drops his cigarette that he was smoking at the time, and he fucking perishes. He actually burns up. In the anime, it's shown that the guy was just like having a hallucination. In the manga, he's actually burning. He is burning up. He is burning up and he is dead. Oh, it's the funniest thing in the world. Oh. It's something like the guy is pouring himself a glass of vodka or whatever, and then Yugi puts like a lighter on the hand that's pouring the vodka. He's like, "I'll just use my thumb," and he uses the thumb to like flick open the lighter, right? Then he goes like, "Here you go," puts the lighter on the hand that's like pouring the vodka. Now the guy can't shoot, because if he shoots, the vibration makes the lighter fall, and he's pouring a lot of vodka, it's gonna like burn him up, right? So the guy just like stays there, and he's like, "Oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?" And he does nothing. But then he was actually smoking a cigarette as well, and since he was just like panicking so much, he just like drops the cigarette, and then that makes him burn up and die. It's something like that. I don't remember it, but there is a scene on... You literally can look it up on YouTube. It will do far more justice than my mess of words will. And it's a wonderful scene. Just remember, in the anime, it's hallucination. In the manga, he actually... in the manga, he actually just fucking burns up and dies. Just like this guy, you know? Just like this guy. Anyway, I think we are going to go ahead and... do that. There we go, because I wanted to grab a lockpick and I wanted to grab this and equip it. I don't know what it is. Equip using plasmid returns some Eve. That's bad, but whatever. And then we're gonna get here. All good. Dude will live the rest of his life experiencing immolation. Immolation, not immolation. Yeah, honestly, I don't know which one is worse. If, like, actually dying, or you're just, like, thinking you are dying forever. Probably thinking you are dying forever. Actually, yeah, 100% thinking you are dying forever is the worst one. What am I even saying? It's actually still on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom page for spirals? That is so weird. You were saying something about, like, the argument they were using as well, but I was going on, like, my tirade, so I didn't read it. The exoskeleton is like Metal Gear Rex. Sure, I guess. Sure, why not, I guess. I mean, I get wanting it to be Metal Gear Solid, but no. I really don't think so. Who knows? Maybe I'm the one who's wrong, right? Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. He offers to light a cigarette, then puts it on his hand. Right! That's what he does. He lights his cigarette. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, I need to smoke." Then he drops the lighter on his hand and... Ba-bum. It's just a really good scene, though. You should just watch it regardless. Even if my piss-poor rendition, you know, turned you off from watching it, you really should. You really, really should. It's just good. There we go. Tommy gun. Should probably not be... Of all the times to be not talking, it should probably not be when there's, like, the MCA music on. Really should probably talk over this. I've been talking over the entire dialogue. As soon as there's like copyright music on, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm drunk. God damn it. Shit. No. Piss. Ah, I'm going to kill. Whoa.
Over there.
I know. Yeah, I see him, Elizabeth.
Eve, here.
Thanks, appreciate. Woo! How you doing, buddy? There we go. That was probably the worst time to just like keep quiet, honestly. What am I doing? Spiral Metal Gear Solid just drawing from the same fantasy, pretty much. I don't know. The thing about fandoms is that they can't really be trusted now, can they? I mean, they are fandoms for a reason. They're just, you know, fan-made. But sometimes people just go really wild. One such example, it's also Konami, funnily enough. You might already be, you know, coming to where I am. That's not a sentence. You might already be getting to what I'm thinking about, right? But it's a Silent Hill wiki. The Silent Hill wiki has a very famous story of some guy that really, really, really wanted to push his agenda of, what was it again? Circumcision. Yes, there we go. I completely butchered saying all of that, but yeah, the Silent Hill wiki has a very famous, or infamous, I guess, story of like a guy that really wanted to push this circumcision agenda, where it was like, it is unknown why Walter went to such extremes, but maybe it's because he was circumcised as a child. It's like, where did you get that from the games? Oh, don't worry about it. Trust me, bro. It has since been removed, I believe, and, you know, normality has been restored to the wiki, but it's so funny to me to think that some guy just went in there and was like, because apparently he was a very prolific member of the, oh, there we go, didn't remember seeing this before, probably just missed it looking at the ground. Apparently he was a very prolific member of the wiki as well. He was like a moderator or something, so they couldn't just like kick him out or, you know, stop him from doing it, right? Because he was actually, you know, very helpful. But at the same time, after every single one of, you know, of his actual, you know, edits, he would just go like, but maybe it was because of circumcision. Who knows? Oh, that hurts. There we go. Whew. In this one frame, his dick clips out of his pants, and you can tell he's circumcised. It's pretty much something like that, yes. It's pretty much something like that. Oh shit, okay. There we go. Playing Valorant. Take my time to aim. Remember the abridged version of this and just Joey and Yugi going, that's pretty fucked up, you. Listen, it might be fucked up, but he was an evil guy, okay? He deserved it, surely. The circumcision controversy, yes. Yes. Imagine going to anybody and being like, do you know about the circumcision controversy that Silent Hill had? And it's like, what are you talking about? That's how you instantly just kill someone. Just instantly overload their psychic damage. Have you ever heard about the circumcision controversy that Silent Hill wiki had? Oh, I'm gonna let them kill themselves. I can fucking see. I have eyes on me. There we go. Just let them kill themselves, and I can clean up the dregs. No problem. Have you ever heard of the Is that like an NPC? Have you ever heard of the circumcision controversy? Have you heard of the High Elves? If you're going to travel on the streets, be careful. On the roads, be careful. It's the Daedra, you see. I can't do too terribly good of an impression, but honestly, I think that's too much power. I'm not sure what I would do if I could do a good impression of it. I probably would go insane, honestly. Probably do it all the time. Evil Eye. Right, this is a really good one. So these aren't random either. They just give them to you, huh? Because these are the exact same ones that I got last time that I played through here. That's good to know, I guess. That's good to know. At least I have the comfort of knowing that I'll have the exact same pieces of gear. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, really interesting. You should give it a watch, give it a try. I should probably give it a watch myself, honestly. Someday, sometime. Some live, some die. That's the way of the samurai. There we go. I remember that I could do that from last time that I was playing, from the game soft locking me, so I had to go back a number of times. Ugh. We're about to reach the place that we were at before as well. So we're almost at the spot where we stopped off last time. This was definitely worth it, wasn't it, fellas? Of course it was. I used to be in the fandom like you, but then I ran into the circumcision controversies.
Won't steal my leads!
Shut up. Nobody asked you. Dumb bitch. The thing is, I mean, we're joking about it today, but imagine going into a wiki that you frequent, right? Imagine, I know there's like a number of people here that play FGO, so I'll just use that for like, you know, I'll just use that for you know, ease of use, right? Imagine you go into the FGO wiki and you look up any servant's profile, right? Their abilities, their lore, whatever, right? And at the end of it all, you go, perhaps this happens because they were circumcised. Imagine there's an alter version of some servant and their weight is different, and then someone posts a note that says, maybe their weight is different because they were circumcised. Oh, my dog is barking outside. I don't think he finds this to be too terribly funny. Honestly, it isn't. But it would be pretty hilarious if it happened. Oh my god. Listen, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine you have to go into the wiki and you have to deal with that shit, right? It's not funny, but imagine that's what you have to deal with, right? I'm glad I don't. That's all I'll say. I'm glad I never had to deal with that, you know, with that particularity of the Silent Hill wiki, because I have gone on it a few times before. I never saw the whole, you know, dick theory, and I'm glad I didn't. I think I'm all the better for it, really. Let me see if I can't shoot this guy.
We seek out the fight perpetually. Who hides? No half measures for you!
Come on! Damn it! I am powerful. I am the fucking strong.
Nothing beats your first splice. From there, it's all down.
Anyways,
The frozen frost.
universe where you
the
receive
jockeys
Archer.
will hit 1,000 volts as soon as look at you.
You sound sympathetic.
They wouldn't be the first sons of bitches who found an answer at the bottom.
Mac and cheese in the sun. This is very good. You know, I've never had mac and cheese myself. It's one of those kinds of things I assume that's like very.
They cut
It's-
a less sympathetic figure.
It's one of those kinds of things that are very American, or at least I've always found it. But it's not a. Where's Elizabeth? Oh my god, Elizabeth. She's stuck on the other side. No. There we go. Good. It loaded. Ugh, I was kind of scared for a second there. Not gonna lie. Why doesn't it or it does autosave here? I guess it makes sense because we go over there, but why doesn't it autosave when we get here every single time? You know? That's what I'm asking. Like, why would you make a game that's based on autosaves only, and you don't have autosaves that are frequent? You know? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah? You can lose like 30 minutes of gameplay just because, well, because the game didn't autosave, because it doesn't let you autosave. Ugh.
Short-circuited. Probably be able
Pop
to
it
pop
up,
it
open
open.
with
A jolt of shock
Shock
No.
Let's look around. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
whatever.
a store ain't been ransacked by splicers yet.
Mac and cheese is classic comfort food. I mean, it does sound pretty good, and I mean, it's just like simple, right? Just macaroni, cheese, yummy. There you go. I mean, I could probably make it myself. I just get some macaroni noodles, just get some cheese, some shredded cheese or whatever. Pop it in the oven, I think is what you do. Something like that. I could make it if I wanted to, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's easy enough, isn't it? So maybe I should, you know? Maybe I should someday. Who knows? Chat, are you guys fans of cooking? Because I'm not really. Oh my god, I didn't think you could actually jump down. Holy fuck. Also notice how, like, these lines have not glowed at all. Like, I've been, like, just going about my business. These things have not glown at all. Anyway, I'm not very much a fan of cooking. I'm more of a baking kind of person, you know? But there's people that are the other way around, right? It's like they dislike baking because it's, I guess, very uncertain. But that's the exact same way that I feel about cooking. Like, baking is just like I just measure things, I put them in the bowl, I mix them up, I put it in the oven, bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Pretty easy, you know? Easy peasy, lemony squeezy. But cooking is like, I need to be watching out for like time in the minutes. I need to be watching out for quantities of salt. I need to be watching out for pepper. I need to be watching out for, oh, is this one potato cooking faster than the others? Like, I mean, it's hellish, you know? To me, anyway. To me, it is. Cooking and baking is fun. Unfortunately, I can only say that about baking, you know? I wish I could say that about cooking, though. I don't know, I just, I guess it might also be because when I bake something, it's done with, like, preparation, right? I think about it like, yes, I'm going to bake and I'm going to bake this. I have the ingredients, I know what I have to do, let's go, right? And it's like a special occasion. It's not like I bake every single day, right? So I always have it in mind that it's like, if I'm gonna bake, it's gonna be this day. But when I cook, it's like, cooking has to be done at least twice a day, right? Lunch and dinner, you know? And then it becomes a matter of like, oh shit, what do I have? Do I have this? Do I have that? Can I do this? I guess we're just gonna like throw this into the pan, whatever. It's a lot more hectic and a lot more chaotic. At least for me. Maybe I should look into like just doing week-long.
Mr. DeWitt, take a look.
I'm taking a look. Give me a sec. Maybe I should look into like those kinds of dishes that are like you cook once and then it lasts you the whole week, right? Maybe that would be good. It's like just a huge pan of something or other, right? Maybe that would work. Measure both by sight and hearing and never use recipes. That is wild to me. That is so wild to me. I do that, I am pissing myself. I am pissing myself with fear that I am just over-salting it or under-salting it. I would cry on the spot, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that's what people do, right? Once you're, you know, experienced enough with it, you just do things. You just know, yeah? You just know. I get that. I get that a lot. It's just, I feel like when it comes to baking, I can do a lot more improvisation in that aspect than I can with cooking. That's just like me, yeah? That's just like my view of things. Which, I mean, very obviously, your view of things is the exact same way for cooking. So, you know, doesn't really mean much, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm just overly scared of cooking is what it is. Maybe I'm just, you know, bitch made for cooking. Oh, we need to listen to, have we picked up 2 voice logs, I think? We need to listen to them, even though I know what they are. Let me see. Sander Cohen, there we go.
Of my first play, the Herald said, a dead whale
This is a good one.
has washed up at the Schubert Theater
And stinks a little more with each passing night.
The
I like that, I
Tribune
like that.
called my first opera as having the effect of cancelling out
Excuse
all
me.
Mozart's classics in a single caterwaul.
Alright.
And now,
How are you doing, Alexander? Welcome on in. Sorry for being late. Never apologize for being late. You don't owe me anything. You don't need to be here if you don't want to. But I appreciate you being here all the same. Thank you very much. Hope you've been having a good day. Caught up with a friend online, so I believe that means you probably were having some fun. That is good. That is very good.
I just might take him up on that.
Sander is having a time. Do not worry about him. It's okay. Just don't bother. Don't worry. You decided what games I'm buying on Steam this summer? Ah, yeah. I need to get to that myself as well, yeah. I really do.
I'm holed up in the shoe storeroom. The code's 0928.
Oh, this poor feller. Yeah, I remember what happens to him from last time we were playing. I remember what happens to him. Okay, so we have, I think, either 2 or 3 enemies. One of them is here. The other one is there. And there's the other one. Bada bing, bada boom. Done and done. My goodness, what happened to your leg? Probably should just like increase health, honestly. The shield is really piss poor. I don't know what it is with the shield, but it's like so garbaggio. I might as well just increase the health, because I know that they're going to be ripping through the shield in no time whatsoever. Might do this then. Buy some games, barely played what I bought last time, and I'm also interested in buying Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster Box. Ooh, which one are you going to buy? Which one are you interested
right up
in?
your alley.
We were just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! At length just a few minutes ago. We were talking about how Season 0 is so different from the rest, and talking about like that one scene where Yugi just burns the guy to death. You know? that's always a good time. Oh. Oh. Good thing I could save that. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go, baby. Come. There we go. Come. Honestly, I'd be scared shitless if I just heard somebody scream that at me from the other side of the room with a weapon.
I'm fine down here.
Come. No, I think I'm fine. I think I'm okay. Duelist Nexus with the new Stardust Dragon and Crimson Dragon. Oh, is Duelist Nexus is the one that's it's got the Archfiend, right? In the cover. Yeah. That's the one that comes with the Jack card, right? Or is that not for? I know that Jack card came for JP, for the OCG. I mean, I'm not sure if it's coming over to TCG as well, but it's a really cool card. I really hope that they do that. Nope, new Stardust Dragon. Oh, don't know which one it is then. Interesting. You know, I'd love to see more non-medieval fantasy RPGs. Nothing against them, a variety is nice. Can't wait for Star Ocean 2's remake. There aren't that many sci-fi RPGs, are there? I mean, even if we go out of the realm of like medieval RPGs, because like, you know, there's a number of them when it comes to like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy X is one of them, 7 is one of them, 8 is one of them, yada 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 yada. But the realm of like sci-fi, like spacefaring kind of stuff, doesn't really have that much. It really is kind of just Star Ocean, isn't it? Which, I mean, nothing against that, really. But I wonder if that is a niche that is just like waiting, you know, just waiting in the sidelines to be, you know, filled up, you know. I'm just gonna do this so I can move around a little bit with ease. There was a lockpick. There's money, I think? Yeah. Okay. There we go. I do remember there was somebody complaining that like Star Ocean had stopped being truly sci-fi because they had knights in them or something, and it's, I mean, I don't know because I don't really play Star Ocean, but it feels like just having knights isn't enough to like remove the sci-fi element if you still have like goons going around in spaceships and whatever. Don't know about that. The cover is Cosmic Quasar Dragon. You know what? I am going to look that up because I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea. Duelist Nexus YGO. Let me see this. This is still not. When was this released? It's gotta be recent, right? Yeah, July 27th, 2023. Oh, it's not even out yet. Okay, that explains it. That explains it. That explains it. There we go. That explains it. Okay, I see. Well, best of luck getting your Stardust Dragon, my friend. Best of luck. Star Ocean Phantasy Star, that's all that I can think of. That's unfortunate.
This obliteration begins inside.
Yeah, I fucking see him, Elizabeth. He's right in front of me. Oh, God. Calm down. Whoa!
Got him on the hostage.
Yeah. There we go. You know, stealthing in these games is kind of fun. Especially when you're doing it in 2. Because 2 is, you know, you're playing as a big daddy. You're playing as a big bad alpha series, right? And you're in this huge heavy metal suit and you're still somehow stealthing. I think you need to use plasmids for it, but still, it's so funny. It's like you turn around and just see this crouching Big Daddy ready to just like drill you. God, that is either the funniest thing or the scariest thing in the world. Not sure which one, honestly. Not sure which one. We got the code for this. It was 0928. Gotcha. 28. There we go. I really wish I had telekinesis. It would make things a lot easier. I could just like toss this and explode him, but oops, can't do that. I'm happy that I bought an $80 quartz pack in Grand Order, but it was 80. Don't hurt, but still. Wait, why are you happy you bought an $80 quartz pack exactly? Star Ocean 2 is better than every Star Ocean. I mean, like I said, I have no experience in Star Ocean, so I'll just have to take you on your word for it, you know? I'm partial to Last Hope, personally, but that's just me. Best game on the PS3. I think I have seen a playthrough of Last Hope before. It looked pretty nice. Like, in terms of look alone, it looked very good. Maybe I should actually play some of those when I can. I mean, they're on the PS2, right? I could literally just, like, grab some and play them. Oh, please explode already. Ugh. So annoying. Had to burn all of my plasmas, or all my Eve, and still didn't work. Also, it is incredibly funny to me that the Eve is actually still in the bottles that they used for, like, the Vigors. Even though Eves were, like, in needles. But, I mean, I guess maybe they're just like, oh, it's... You see, the video game, it takes place before things were, like, all fucked up, so... I don't know, it's another one of those kinds of things where it just really feels like it didn't feel like, you know, switching things around. Like, they switched around a lot of things, so maybe that was on purpose, but at the same time, don't know. Best value for quantity, individual price per unit is lowest 80. I see. I understand, I getcha. What are we doing? No! The poor individual that was trying to get saved is actually dead. No! We already knew this from last time. It really does suck. The message that he has is like, I'll just play it because it's a good one. It's like, oh, this city fucking sucks. Yeah, return to sender.
Heartless.
Ugh.
That's what this town is. All my audio diaries begging for rescue came back unread, marked return to sender, insufficient postage.
Yeah, that is a really good one, honestly. Like, that is a thing that a lot of games have picked up on ever since BioShock was released, was the, or even, maybe even before that with, like, System Shock, because, like, System Shock was, like, the granddaddy of that kind of thing, right? Or at least it popularized it, anyways. The whole leaving logs around to read and listen to fill in the gaps in the game's story, right? And give you, you know, insight into other people's, you know, what happened to them, yeah? The problem is that most everybody that does it does not know what the fuck they're doing, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the diaries that are like, oh, as I am writing this, there is someone coming for me to kill me. They are right behind me. They are attacking me. I am dead. Those kinds of things, they are awful. It's like, nobody would write that. Nobody would be writing in a time of dire need like that. Nobody would be doing shit like that, right? It's like, why would you? You don't need to, like, have diaries on everything at every point in time, you know? Probably kill one of them, honestly, because I think there's, like, another gun one, and I don't want to deal with two of these. Yeah, there's another gun one. Don't be such a party, what? There's still more people as well, if I'm not mistaken. I am mistaken.
You spit Rabbit, you spit Frankie, and you leave me what?
Oh, fuck off. Come on. Okay, that could have gone way worse. Where did they come from? I literally jumped up to see if they had spawned, and they didn't. Oh, whatever. Weirdos. Anyway, yeah, it is a really cool... I don't want to call it mechanic, but I do enjoy when games do that sort of thing well. But there's so many games that do it, and they do it so terribly wrong, and it detracts from the game. That is the thing that I believe a lot of people do not understand as well. You don't need to put things into whatever you're writing if you don't need to. There is no inherent value to adding something just for the sake of adding it, right? Sometimes it will detract from it. And that's the case with those sorts of those diaries or audio logs or whatever that are just there to be there. It's like, I mean, neat, but you're kind of breaking my immersion because I'm just thinking about the dude writing this shit as he's being killed, which no one would do. So, anyways, let's get on to the rails and get on to the area that eluded my attention last time that I played this game. It was this easy, you know? It was this easy. Oh, goodness gracious.
Got Eve.
Eve?
Take this.
Thank you. Oh my god! Okay, that was a little bit, I mean, you know, I was expecting the other ones, that's why I kind of, you know, dealt with them pretty alright, but yeah, this one I kind of fumbled because I didn't exactly know what was coming. Ah, goodness gracious. The company that makes Star Ocean is staffed by the people who made Tales of Fantasia on the SNES. I'm sorry to say that I've only ever played Symphonia, so I'm not... Is Fantasia the one with, the blonde guy? That is such a... that is such a terrible... Is Fantasia the one with the blonde guy? Oh my god. I know there's a game that has this individual that has like long blonde hair, and then his rival or like friend slash rival is like a short black hair guy. I know that, okay? Is that the game? Is that it? One of them, there's more than one blonde guy as pro tag. Yeah, that's as soon as I said it, I was like, yeah, that does not help for jack shit, does it? That does not help for jack shit. Oh well. Oh well. But the game that I'm thinking of, I don't really know how else to describe it, honestly. I can only think of like the characters.
It looks like the plasma
I know they're
department
voice
is that
actors, if
way.
that would help.
I'm sure we'd find something useful there.
Shut up. I know the voice actors, if that would be helpful, but
Help me out with
yeah,
this lock.
No
that's about it. Ramblings of Lunatic that brings world building versus guy writing a diary and explaining how his friend ate his last salami pizza and is going to do something about it. That was an issue in Callisto Protocol. That was an issue in Callisto Protocol because they had a bunch of diaries that just said fucking nothing about anything at all. You know? They had a bunch of diaries that were just people saying, oh, damn, shit's fucked, huh? Anyways, and that's it. That is the diary, you know? Come on. Fuck. Ugh. Can you stop schmoovin'? Elizabeth! Just... Okay. Come on, then. In your what? Oh my god. I forgot that I'm like really low health as well. These fights are actually kind of... They are very dangerous, you know? Not kinda, they are very dangerous. That's it. Oh, goodness gracious. It's the one that got the GBA port. You know, that's the thing as well, right? The GBA got a number of ports that were very high quality, didn't it? Number one comes to mind is Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VI got a port for the GBA, and apparently it's like just godlike. Like, actually the best version, which is very surprising to me. Oh man, the Game Boy Advance was so good, though. I can't believe... listen, you must understand this, right? The Nintendo, the Nintendo, the Nintendo used to just make banger after banger after banger, back to back to back in the day. I mean, that is not to say that they aren't still making them, but it's like you go through the entire library of the Game Boy Advance, bangers. You go through the entire library of the DS, bangers. You go through the entire library of the Wii question mark? It's bangers all the same, baby. It was just banger after banger, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And now these days they're just fucking suing people. I mean, they're still making games that are revolutionary and all of that garbage, but god damn, can you just stop fucking just clamping down on people that just want to make fan games already? Christ almighty.
Lockpicking skills to work.
Awful thing.
Child's play.
Awful fucking thing, really. Oh shit, okay, shield, why not?
Just what the doctor.
500 GBA was godlike. Oh, pick up audio log. Ooh, what is this? What is this individual? Is this Frank Fontaine? No, Herschel Weiss.
Oh, you're not gonna outlawyer me on this one, Ryan. You knowingly promoted Old Man Winter with the implication it produced
Ice.
not dry ice. The ice sculpture we commissioned for this year's gala at the Cashmere stands where we left it a month later. All 2,500 pounds of it. And still footing the room rental? Oh, not you, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, dry ice is a little bit different from ice, isn't it? Just a little bit different from dry ice. Or from regular ice, rather. Little tiny bit. You know, I do like those kinds of ideas that it's like, oh, the plasmids make this, but it's with this particularity, right? It's like, oh yes, it's ice, but it's not normal ice. It's dry ice. Right now I keep wanting to call it Hipster Fantasy 6, but I know there's a chance I'll change my mind. Don't know why I'm like this. Listen, there's a reason why Final Fantasy 6 is so well loved. It's because it is very good. Okay? I haven't completed it myself, but I did play it a number of years ago. I need to go through it again. It is pretty damn good, though. From the very little that I played. And you know what's very... See, the thing about it is... They put their whole soul into it, you know? I was gonna say something else, but I thought against it. They put their whole entire body and soul into it. The game is insane. For an SNES game, to have an entire opera sequence with singing? With singing included. I don't know what kind of magic they were wielding, but damn, they went hard on it. They really, really did. It's one of those kinds of things, right? It's one of those kinds of things where you have a game that just breaks the... You don't really see that kind of thing these days. You really don't, because like at this point in time, technology is just so advanced that it's very rare to see that sort of deal, yeah? But back in the day, seeing a game just have all of this fit into that tiny cartridge? Damn, dude.
You need a similar for Fontaine's button. Why not shut down the competition in the bargain?
But I thought Andrew Ryan was all about free markets and open.
Of course he is.
All those ideas lose their luster when the quarterly earnings come in and you find the other guys eating your lunch.
I love capitalism.
Fontaine's dead.
I love capitalism. Anyways, yeah, it's just so impressive when you see that kind of thing in a game, right? I've been playing some games on a PSP, for example, and if you compare the first God of War game that they put on the PSP with the second one, it is night and day. I'm telling you, they studied up. The game looks fantastic. It is a wonderful, wonderful piece of PSP video game. Bam. There we go. There we are. Now we can do what we wanted to. And it's really good, you know, whenever you see that kind of thing happen in real time. You're just, you're looking at the game just advance, really. And you don't really get to see that too much these days. You really don't. It's a shame. It really is a shame. I keep getting hung up on how everyone sings praises. I feel like I have my expectations too high. I understand that perfectly. I really, really do. I also feel that way whenever people are just like saying that this is godlike, this is the best, this is great. I always feel like, well, what if I think it sucks? My advice to that is go in, and if it sucks, just say it sucks. If you don't want to be judged by anybody else, you come in here and you tell me that, and I'll say that is okay, my friend. That is okay. If you think the game sucks, that is all right. It is your opinion. Games don't need to appeal to everybody, and if it didn't appeal to you, then that is quite all right. It just was not meant to be. Critical hits, the extra damage, have a chance to not consume a bullet. Wait a second, that's so good? Give me that shit. Just go for it, you know? Keep an open mind, and if it sucks, I mean, you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's just about all there is to it, unfortunately. But also, fortunately. The way I feel about 6 must be how people felt about 7. Maybe I'll be able to give it a better try next time. I do... Well, I'm not too well versed in 7 story, but I believe 7 at the time was seen as like a breath of fresh air, right? Because it was like the series going into this brand new direction, yeah. And I think everybody was just like looking forward to it. But I mean, if we think about it with that kind of glasses, it's like, oh man, they've been doing this for so long. Why are they now shifting into this kind of path, right? Which I can definitely see that also happening, because it just happened with like 16. How many people have you seen complaining about Final Fantasy 16 not being a real Final Fantasy or whatever? That kind of thing was probably happening all the time back then with 7. Now that I think about it, maybe you do have it then. Maybe you do have the right of it. Causes missed attacks to ricochet. I am buying this, and I am buying this. What is funny to me is that, I mean, I haven't played 16 yet. I haven't seen anything of 16 yet. But of everybody who's played it, I've just seen them go, oh yeah, this is Final Fantasy. But it's so funny to me that people are just like going, no, this isn't Final Fantasy because it has
tells me all that cold isn't just coming from the ice
orcs
rink.
and goblins. Like, huh? You mean monsters that the other games also had? Question mark. Goblins? That's like the quintessential Final Fantasy game. What are you, or not game, monster? What are you talking about? Ah, some people, you know, some people. 7 just clicked well for me when I played it back in 2014. That is good to hear. That is very good to hear. It is a very nice game, you know. To this day, it is still a nice game. I mean, I played it just recently to completion for the first time.
Have a look.
And it is still a game that does hold up very
All
well.
yours.
That actually reminds me of something else. I saw this on Twitter, right? There was somebody there saying... It was something to the effect of... So can we all just agree that most of the NES library is unplayable today? And I can't disagree more. It would be impossible. It would honestly be physically, metaphorically, metaphysically, however many Kalees you have, impossible for me to disagree more. Something doesn't just turn bad with time. If something is good, it is good all the way through. I'm sorry, you just can't play old games. But that is a you problem. You know? That is just a you problem. Something doesn't magically turn bad. If it's bad, it probably was bad back in the day as well, but we had less choice. It's such a trash fucking take. You know? Such a bad take. It's like they were unplayable today. What do you mean unplayable? Huh? What do you mean unplayable? But there are people that think this way. There really are people that think this way, and it saddens me. It really does. It really, really does. But oh well. You know what? Fuck them.
Fontaine called me the other
Fuck
day.
them.
Me, Ray Lorton.
Ooh.
Says trouble's coming and he's passing out special plasmids to all his best guys. I mean, it's an honor, but man, I started getting these shingles all over. Skin's discolored.
Ah, old man of winter,
like when a guy's about
baby.
to lose a limb, you know? And I can't seem to pile on enough clothes. I hate to ask, but
Is this happening to everybody?
Don't worry about it, Ray. Don't worry. Like then everyone and their mom was calling 7 overrated. There's been plenty of like periods of time where it kind of bounces between which one is overrated. It's like, oh, 6 is overrated, 7 is overrated. It's never 10 though. It's never 10. This one's overrated. This one's overrated. It happens a lot. I mean, when you have a series that's as long and storied as Final Fantasy, it's just inevitable. Everyone will come out of their little hidey hole and be like, no, actually, my favorite is the best, and this is why. There we go. So I can actually just... This is actually the best. This is all that I want for the main game, you know? This is why they gave us so little ammo in this DLC, because we have way more guns to work with. That is actually the reason why, and I am very grateful for it. Because honestly, yeah, I'm all for it. I am all for it. Still kind of sucks to like switch guns, but whatever. I guess I can switch guns. As in the act of switching the gun it feels really stiff and weird, but I'll take it over no switching. There we go. You know, I was gonna ask which one is you guys' favorite Final Fantasy, but once again, like I said, it's just gonna be a cavalcade of like, oh, fucking 7's the best. No, it's 6, it's 10. It always devolves into that now, doesn't it? It always devolves into that. I need to play more though, I really do. Last time I was playing 2, because I was trying to play...
Anyone comes near that bottle without permission is a dead man.
Okay, yes sir. Defeat the Frosty Splicer. Can't I just like shoot him? This is probably a terrible idea, huh? Oh! Come on! Whoa! Somebody's shooting me! Somebody is shooting me! Give me a second while I recompose myself. Oof! Thank you! Catch even vulnerable. Oh! No! Please, sir! Please! Oh! He freezes me in my tracks. Okay, that is a bit problematic. Okay. Okay, I think that's all. That's all the guys with the guns. Okay. Just you and me, little buddy. Just you and me.
You're hurt.
Yes, I am. Appreciate. Where are you? What? Oh, this fires in bursts. I didn't know that. That went well. I think it was cool, but I don't think I want to play it ever again. 2 is, to be sure, a very divisive game, right? Because I think I was mentioning this a while ago, but the way that it works is if you do something, you will strengthen that something. If you take damage, you will get more HP. If you attack with melee weapons, you'll get more strength. If you use spells, you get more intelligence, yada yada yada. The system is made so that it kind of...
The plasmid? Have you forgotten what we came for?
Shut the fuck up, please. Just please stop talking for 1 second. Let me just do my thing, please. Anyways, Christ, that is so demeaning. What in the world? I know what I'm doing. You don't need to tell me. Christ. Anyways, going back to it. I said anyways so many times already. This would be a great opportunity to just like scare the shit out of me. So I'm not gonna look at what's outside, and if I die, I die.
Open up that cabinet.
Can you please stop talking? Just let me explore, lady. Come on, dog. We were just having such a great time talking about Final Fantasy 2 and how the system is tailor-made so that it, you know, works around how you play. The problem is that in theory, it's great, but in practical application, it's busted as all hell. Because you go into a battle with like some goons and you attack your party members. You attack your party members and you escape the battle, or you finish the battle or whatever, and then you just like get your numbers up like crazy, right? And then you just like repeat that over and over again to get just a crazy high level character very early on, right? So it's like it's cool and all, but it's so busted, and at the same time it's not very player friendly either. Because like you're doing all of this bullshit, right? But if you're just like playing like normal, there's a very good chance you just like get screwed out of like your level ups. Because if you're playing good, if you're playing well, then I mean, you're not like you're not getting HP or anything of the sort, right? Depending on luck as well, you might just get HP on the wrong characters. It's very prone to both abuse and also doesn't work very well in casual play, is what I'm trying to say. Open it up.
Keep a lookout.
But it is a cool concept. I do like it. I do think it is interesting, and I enjoy playing through it. If there's one thing that I would change if I could, it would be...
Son of a bitch drank every last bottle of Old Man Winter.
Or did he?
I think I can help.
What was that?
Give me that.
It's
Give me.
a new plasmid. Lets me bring in things that might exist, but don't.
Very funny. Go in there.
Sure, I understand. What's it
Give
called?
me.
Tear.
Where'd you find that?
You don't expect a girl to share all her secrets, do you, Mr. Dwight?
Equip shields on both hands, spam attack, easy stats on GBA anyway. The one that I am playing is the anniversary version, which is it's 1 and 2 in one. That's the one that I actually had when I was younger. I wonder if I still have it around. Not sure. I'd like to go and check, but I don't think I do, which is a shame. I don't think I do. It was like the PlayStation 1 title, and I wasn't really too terribly much of a fan of the game back in the day because it was way too hard for me to deal with. But now I'm way better at dealing with I'm far better at dealing with RPGs these days. It used to be that I'd had to grind and shit, but now I just like, I don't know, I just strategize and play good. Imagine that. Fuck. The fact that this is burst fire is kind of awful, I'll be honest with you. It's more so of a machine gun than a precision rifle at this point. Don't like it.
I know you're the client and all, but I've gone about far enough without a few answers.
There we go, there we go.
Is none of your concern. Consider me a means to an end.
Then why do I get the feeling I'm being set up?
GBA was
I
1
told
plus
you
2
I'm in
Dawns of Souls.
collections. And
Or
account
Dawn of
is in
Souls, rather.
arrears. My clients simply want to see matters set to right.
Don't make any sense, that's all.
If you don't like the arrangement, the bathysphere's back that way.
I mean, to be quite honest, yeah, we can just like fuck off. And I would like to fuck off at this point in time, but unfortunately that's not what Booker is gonna do, so I can't do it either. Oh well. Use that brain for brain things and you don't struggle as much. Isn't it wild though? Isn't it crazy? You think about things and they work out the way that you thought? That is just insane to me. Oh, I can bring out the stuff. Can bring out the samurai. Go Gigida! That is so funny that I could just bring a samurai. Why would there be a samurai down here? That makes no sense. Go Gigida! Why is there a samurai down here? What? Wait, that actually makes no sense whatsoever. Huh? He's not a machine, he's just an actual living, breathing samurai down here in the bottom of the ocean.
Do it.
I mean, fuck it, bro, sure, whatever. Whatever you say. Oh boy. Alright, 24, Jesus Christ, in that small mag? God damn. Really, don't make him like they used him. Alright, what do we got here? Boost mod. I think I might just, adds an area affected freeze. That is really good. I'm gonna grab that. And winter boost as well. That might be very helpful. Although I'm probably gonna be relying on the lightning more often than not. That might actually be pretty good. Okay, and then we can just take the elevator. So we don't have to go all the way back around. Anyway, I was going to talk about Dawn of Souls. That's the one for the GBA. I know they added some new stuff for it, but I didn't play it still because it was very inconsequential. I think it was just like a new dungeon with a number of there's a new dungeon with a number of bosses, I believe. It was like a secret new boss or something of the sort. And I didn't really feel like doing it. I thought this is just gonna be more grind. I don't really care that much anyway. So whatever.
Do it.
Done.
I'm a legend, you hear? A legend!
A fucking legend! That's an old ass meme by this point in time, huh? I was a legend in Jamaica. Okay. Ooh, that one should have missed, but whatever. I'm glad it didn't. Whew. One on GBA has Gilgamesh as a boss in a bonus dungeon. That is very good. But yeah, it's that kind of thing, right? It's just like bonus stuff that I could probably... Like, I don't really care too much to do that sort of thing. Not really. So I'd be fine just like watching it on YouTube or something of the sort. I don't know. I kind of feel compelled to do that when it comes to games like 12 or 10. But for one, I was just like, I mean, I just kind of want to play the game and see what it's all about. So I don't really care that much.
Sure thing.
So I didn't, you know. I didn't. Don't know why I'm justifying myself so hard, by the way. It's like, no, please, you understand. I didn't think I wanted to do it, please, sir. But yeah, it's that kind of thing that they added, and I was just like, not worth it. Not worth it. Another samurai. Okay.
Take your time. I'm fine down here.
I didn't ask.
There you go.
And there we go. Nice. AKA the best Final Fantasy character. That is not Bahamut. Yes, character. Because he is a character in a number of games. Like 10. And 1. I mean, technically speaking, in 10, Bahamut isn't really a character, but his faith is. So fuck it. I'll say that he is a character. I don't care. I don't care. It's my stream. I'll say what I want. Let me see. What do we got here? We sell weapons. Oh! I didn't know you had this. Accelerated mod. It causes the radar range to slow enemies down. What in the world is this shit? No De Niro, no ammo. That is true, I guess. Yeah, true. Agree. I agree with your with what you just said. Yeah, facts. Oh, here we go. We're full on shotgun shells, and this is the man that wait. No, who is this guy again? Oh, this is the one that was talking about the dry ice, yeah.
You thought the whole ice sculpture fiasco was just gonna bounce off you, didn't you, Ryan? Well, you ain't made of rubber. You got your circus of values selling your goods, security devices protecting your property. You think you own them, but you don't. I'm learning how to turn your creations against you. I promise you one thing. Machine gun bullets don't bounce.
I have yet to meet a man that can outsmart bullet. Literally man just said that. Some people think they can outsmart me. Maybe. I have yet to meet man who can outsmart bullet.
Nice.
Thanks, Booker. Appreciate. Yeah, that's all there is to it, huh? Now sells weapons. I don't have that radar range thing, whatever. Fucker.
Elizabeth!
Okay.
That one! Now!
Come on. Kogeki-ja! Yeah, minna goroshi da! Come on, do it. Because I'm scared, honestly. Oh my, they got shotguns and shit. Oh, holy moly, give me that. Wait, why was I... Hold on a minute. Could I not get the shotgun ammo because I didn't have shotgun yet? Yeah, okay, that's weird. I thought I was picking it up just fine. Gilgamesh is a fun character, silly but honorable too. It's always a delight to see him. I do like... I prefer... What in the world? Oh my goodness gracious. I prefer Gilgamesh when he is more on the serious sides of things. I do, I'll be honest with you. I like goofy Gilgamesh, but I like Gilgamesh when he's like, yeah, I'm actually like big deal, you know? I actually like will fuck you up, you know? Cause like, that's the thing about Gilgamesh, he is really strong, you know? But a lot of the times he's like presented as just like the funny haha guy. So when he turns it around and he's like, no, you know what, actually fuck it, I will beat your ass. I really do like it when he turns up the heat. It's nice. It's really nice. Did I get ammo? I think I got ammo. Team Fortress 2 is better than Overwatch 2. The fact that Team Fortress 2 has a very real chance to survive Overwatch 2's servers is insane to me. I mean, there's no doubt that it is the better game, because, you know, come on. But, damn, that is impressive. I mean, once again, Activision Blizzard just out here doing their level best to just fucking, I don't know, like, suck, I guess. I really do feel bad for the developers. I really, really do. But it's so funny to me. Oh, fuck, this is lightning. Can you not, please?
If Sally's not your daughter, what's she to you? Why risk life and limb?
It's part of the job.
You owe me no explanation.
I don't.
She's just another orphan. After Fontaine went down, the city was lousy with him.
And?
I don't know. You have a reason for every stupid thing you've ever done? She started showing up, looking peaked.
Peaked?
More fool me to feed the brat. Should have known she would never leave.
How did you lose her?
It's none of your business.
It's really funny, the Booker just like, it's none of your business, and then goes on to just like tell her about everything. Hey, you know what? Sure. Oh my goodness gracious. Sure thing, buddy. You go off, King. You go off. Had a person treat me like shit for making a TF2 reference? What? That is such a weird thing to do. That is a very strange thing to do. A lot of people are very hostile for like no real reason sometimes, you know? But, I mean, what do you call it? Not trying to make excuses for them or anything, I'm just saying that, like, when that happens, it's usually because they have something else going on in their life, probably. Because, like, imagine someone just making a fucking Team Fortress 2 imagine you just go, like, I am the spy, and someone goes, you should jump off a bridge. It's like, what? What are you talking about? What are you doing? What are you saying? That would be very, very weird indeed. Oh, man. So usually they do have something going on, but I am very curious to know what in the world would be going on behind that man, or that person, rather. I don't know if it's a man. For them to be like, you suck. They make a Team Fortress 2 reference. That is the weirdest fucking thing, actually. What in the world? I haven't been able to use the shotgun yet. No, I want to use the shotgun. Damn it. Alright. Well, I guess we're going to take the bathysphere down. Or to the other side? I'm not sure. Are we taking it down? Or are we taking it across? Are we taking it... Hold the lever, Kronk. What? Oh, my fingies. Treat me like garbage for liking Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, once again, that is always... I mean, if you ever want a red flag for anything, is when they treat you a certain way for liking something.
Wouldn't peg you as the rapture type.
Pegged?
Not even a little.
If you mean
Pegging?
I have no interest in joining the Andrew
No
White
way.
Club, you'd be right. Just another set of fanatics with a different set of books.
Crazy of BioShock Infinite to say this. Insane, even. I don't know if I want to look at this.
What?
You asked me how I lost Sally. I gamble. Took her somewhere a kid's got no business being.
I don't like this.
I was winning. In a place like that, you don't let a kid out of your sight.
But you did.
Yeah, and here we are. But the million-dollar question is, what's she to you?
The
I have
million-dollar
interest in
question.
reuniting you with her. Isn't that reason enough?
Okay, that was less creepy than I thought. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, when somebody just like starts treating you a certain way because you like something, and it's like such an innocuous thing as like a video game, yeah, you should probably start thinking about leaving.
Probably thought putting a child in prison
Probably
would be
start
hard
about
part.
you know, just
Sooner we find her, the better.
getting out of there. I don't think there's any real good reason. That's her? Right away?
You come
Hi.
out.
Bye. That was her right away? Impressive. Very interesting that we just like find her.
Come out of there.
I can't see her.
As soon as we get here, that is very convenient, you know? Pardon me for
This is a
saying,
schematic for the
but
venting system. It shows there are more vents like this one in electronics, the bistro, returns, the book department, and the appliance show floor.
So?
If she's in there, there are only 6 vents she can come out of.
so,
Now there are 5.
aha.
All these vents are connected to the central heating unit. If we close them off and turn the heat up, she'll be forced out through the central exhaust. It's the only
Oof.
exit.
You want to burn her alive?
That's
No, we'll
rough.
just make it hot enough to flush her out.
Can't do that.
Look, either we find her, or one of those splicers will.
All right. Where are the other vents?
Up ahead.
Okay, I think that will be where we stop then, at this junction.